Good morning and welcome to our Raww podcast, episode 17. Thank you. Today we are discussing menopause. As it is such a huge topic, we are breaking it down. There will be a lot more to discuss later down the line. Today we are discussing the biology of menopause and what actually happens.
Yeah, we thought because it is such a big topic that kind of chunking it up would be easier for people to process, and it makes sense to start with the science behind it and then kind of look at symptoms, the mental health side, kind of the reality of when you stop producing children, and neurodiversity comes into there, nutrition, exercise, things like HRT. There's so many things that come under menopause, but we only have 15 to 20 minutes, so
yeah, we'll be sat here
for a long time,
discuss it
especially
all.
with us too.
We've broken it up a lot.
So, what's the average age of menopause?
Well, I got this completely wrong because I guessed, what was my first guess? 45?
45, yeah.
So yeah, I guessed 45, but that wasn't right. So I guessed 48. It still wasn't right. It is in fact
51. So
51.
when we say menopause, that is when you have completely stopped your periods. So you've completely settled out. You are having no more periods. You have completed mate. You're at menopause at 51. That's the average age. Perimenopause it typically starts up to about 10 years before that point. Some people it can be really short, some people it can be like 2 years, some people might not get any of the symptoms, like it's smooth transition. Obviously everybody's very individual. Some people can have early perimenopause, which is kind of somebody in their 30s, early 40s, that's considered early menopause. So a lot of it is very much down to the hormones, because it's the hormones that kind of stop you from bleeding, producing the eggs, things like that.
Yeah.
So pretty much all of your hormones decline, but we'll talk about cortisol at the end because that's slightly different.
Okay.
So estrogen is the first hormone that is going to decline. So that's going to look after things like your health, your heart, your immune system, your brain function and bone. So when people talk about like brain fog and things like that, typically that's because you've got a decline in estrogen. Then you've got your progesterone, which both of these we talk about a lot in the pill.
Yes.
Because obviously you can have progesterone and you can have the combined pill. So we know that these play a big part in women's health. So your progesterone is more to do with, I can see it the body, your breasts and your mental health. So again, it's quite typical to have kind of lulls in your mood, like the mood swings and depression and things like that. Again, heavily linked to the decline in progesterone. You've then got things like melatonin, which we know is your sleep hormone, so that deals with your sleep-wake cycle. So you don't produce melatonin the way that you used to, so that's why a lot of people, when they go through perimenopause, they are really struggling to sleep. And this isn't even talking about things like your hot sweats and things like that, because we'll talk about symptoms another date. And it also deals with things like your immune system and your mood, which makes sense because your sleep's affected. So it all kind of like links together. And then you also have a decline in testosterone. So that doesn't say messes with, that's not what I'm trying to say. It impacts your bone health and your muscle mass. So you start to see a decline in kind of the strength of those things, which is why women are actually more likely to get things like osteoporosis. Because it affects like bone density and muscles. Also affects your energy, your sleep, and of course libido. So again, all those things are impacted. So all of those hormones decline, and then you've got your cortisol, which of course is the one that goes up during perimenopause. So
Why not, eh?
cortisol is your stress hormone. So when people talk about a menopause belly, that's normally because you've got high cortisol, and when you have high cortisol, you carry more weight around the middle. So a lot of the time when people go through menopause, they start to swell up, and then they start to do more because they're like, oh my god, like I've gained so much weight, and then they put even more stress on themselves. So they're kind of like, so when you're looking, we'll look at it in the future, but when you're looking at kind of like nutrition and exercise, actually it's completely different for people when they're going through menopause, because you kind of need to work out, because all of the things that we've talked about are going to impact, and if you add too much like stress and pressure on yourself, you're going to make that worse, because that's actually the root cause of why you've gained weight. It's not to do with the fact that you're not eating very well or you're not exercising enough. It's to do with other things that are going on in the body. So it is different, but it doesn't just affect your stress, it affects your metabolism, it affects your sleep, and belly, I've already said about that. So yeah, it affects all of it. So it's not great. So all of these different hormones doing different things. You're not sleeping very well. Feel rubbish, and so it's nothing to do with kind of just being awkward or difficult. A lot of the time it is something that's out of your control. And it affects things like your blood sugar, your bone density, your lean muscle mass, and sleep, and your mental health. So
it's a great time, isn't it?
It's a fantastic time. So I feel really sorry for people if it goes on for 10 years. That's a long
10 years
time.
of that.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
It's not great, is it?
No.
But the thing about hormones is you don't actually have control over your hormones. Obviously there's things that you can put in place, but you really do need to be kind to yourself. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but again, it's just that kind of, you can't change it. Everybody is going to go through menopause that's female. Like, it doesn't matter whether you have children or you don't have children. Like, you know, you can argue pregnancies and birthing and things like those things will, if you choose to have children, then obviously you go through that. If you don't, then you won't. But every single person that is female will go through menopause. Obviously it's different for everybody, but it's going to affect half of the population, over half of the population, because we're slightly higher in females than we are males.
That's an awful lot going on in your body, isn't it? That is an awful lot going on. And
no control over it. We've had conversations with people that we know that have been through it, and they've said things like they've been in the same job role for 15, 20 years, and they sit in meetings and they can't remember mid-sentence what they're about to say, and they're like, this is really awkward. And it's like, they just need a bit of time. They have a little bit of time, but you don't have time in a meeting, so you're like, oh, this is awkward because I can't actually think of the word I'm trying to say to you.
Goodness,
and it's kind of like that brain fog, and then, you know, the hot sweats are supposed to be horrendous. That's supposed to be like the worst part of all of it. So I can imagine.
I'm looking forward to, put it that way.
You'll be all right. You're always cold.
Well, do you know, I always thought that, but when I do get hot, like in the middle of summer, when we have those really hot days, I am cranky.
Yeah, I'm not good when I'm hot.
When I'm hot, everyone knows I'm hot.
Me.
So I'm
have you seen
nightmare.
Friday Night Dinner?
Yeah.
Bloody boiling! That's me. I bring my skin off.
We're going around naked, trying to strip off.
Yeah, I will not be wearing any clothes. And if I was around my home, I'm going to be like, nope.
And the fans will be on and you'll just be stood there like that.
Don't speak to me, it's mummy's cooling down period.
Oh dear. I think out of those that you've mentioned though, I think cortisol sounds the worst.
Well, I guess the thing is, just
kicking us over now.
Sorry guys. Yeah, I mean they're all kind of linked together. So it makes sense that.
I mean, they're all pretty bad, aren't they? None of them sound appealing.
I think the important message to take is, I feel like you're really annoying.
Oh,
Sorry.
don't worry about it.
Is that there are things that you can do prior to menopause, which is why I strongly think that they should talk about menopause more in schools. Now, I know it sounds really silly, but out of everybody that I know that's like within like our age group, until somebody in the friendship group goes through it, you don't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's not something that's really spoken about. We're getting better at speaking about it, but it's not really spoken about it. People are embarrassed about it because I think there's that stigma of I can't have babies anymore. I'm old, like all of those things. And, you know, I was speaking to, I'm sure Katie won't mind, before I did menopause awareness in my HR role, I knew very little about menopause. And I spoke to Katie and she was like, I know nothing about menopause. Like, we aren't, like, it's almost like until you get to that point where something goes wrong, you're almost like, doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Like, you know, it's the future, it's not. And actually, if they spoke about it more in school, there's things that you can do. So like I say, things like the lean muscle mass going down. Well, if you are doing resistance training, you're going to support that, which means that you're going to reduce the chances of having osteoporosis.
Okay, yeah.
So there are things that you can look at, and obviously, you know, look at your nutrition and things like that. So again, getting those things into place before you hit it is going to support it and make it easier. Again, things like, we'll talk about HRT at some point. HRT is very personal to people. Some people love it, some people can't cope with it, some people aren't allowed to take it. So where do you fall on that? Well, how much knowledge do we really know? Because a lot of us are very much like, you'd walk into the doctors, you'd be like, I'm having this, and this. Yep, you've got menopause. Do you want to take HRT? Yeah, go for it. It makes me feel better. Okay, I'll have it.
Yeah.
But we don't really know anything about it.
No,
we just, makes it easier. Cool.
Absolutely.
So I think, and also, like I say, sleep. Well, getting into better sleep cycles is going to help. And, you know, the supplements that you can take and things like that. So there are lots of things that people can do. And I feel like getting those things in place prior to that is probably going to help during that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of our friends is finished now. She's through it, and she said it is so much better than the other side. It's probably like a new lease of life, I guess. It's probably like I feel alright again. And then you've got no periods, and that must be nice.
Well, yeah.
So I imagine your hormones just like mellow out. That's it then. Because you won't fluctuate every month, will you? So you must be pretty zen.
Pretty level-headed.
Yeah, and then you can watch everybody else suffer. Don't get that anymore. That'll be me, a bit little old lady. I'm like, I'm joking. But yeah, but I think there is so much under the topic.
There is. It is such a huge topic, and it's still very much a taboo topic, and it really shouldn't be. I think it should be discussed more in the workplace. I think that, you know, everyone should be more aware. I think men should be more aware of, you know, what their partners are going to go through and what to expect and when to hide and, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, I mean, they are now they're putting in menopause policies in a lot of workplaces really because they need to. Yeah. Because when you think about it, you might have somebody that has never had children, has been completely career driven, has climbed to the top of the top, they're a director of a company, and they've got to walk into board meetings. We know the majority of people on boards are men still. We're getting better, but there's still no majority of them are men. And you're in that meeting, and you've got brain fog, you're hot as anything, you're sweating, you're bright red, and you've now got to communicate, and you've, you know, given up your life for work, and now all of a sudden, we know it's something like 20% of females during their menopause, they will leave work because they cannot cope with being at work. Now imagine if you've given your life to your job, like you love it, it's everything to you, and now you can't hold a normal conversation with somebody. I mean, that's just like a normal day for me, but God knows what I'm going to be like when I'm at menopause. I'm like, no, don't talk to me. Kristen has to be that.
I was just thinking the same thing. I think our podcast is already called Wait What? I mean, what's it going to be? Just stop and hold for 15 minutes while I try and remember where I was and what I was thinking. I'm bad enough now. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
I'm
it
terrible
is.
now.
And it's frustrating.
It is.
Not that you're terrible.
No, I'm sure it is frustrating for everyone else.
That was a really dick thing to say, and it's frustrating when you are. But when you can't remember your words.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, because you get it when you go through pregnancy, don't you? You get pregnancy brain.
Oh, yeah. Well,
especially after you've had a baby brain, and you're like, I can't think of the simplest word that I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
Can you pass me the... I mean, Chris is pretty used to that anyway. Like, he is genuinely like, what are you saying? I don't know. He just looks at me and goes, you're alright.
No, give it a minute.
But yeah.
No, I'm dreading it because I think surely it can't get any worse. Surely my mind cannot get any worse than what it is now.
But again, similarly to mental health, I do think that we're saying all this and we're talking about like the biology of it, and that it is going to happen. It is going to be difficult for people, and people around you should have an understanding. Yeah. So they should be aware of why, you know, your behaviours might be a little bit different to normal. But as I say, similarly to how I feel about mental health, it is also your responsibility to be a decent person.
Absolutely,
so actually,
it's not an excuse, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you can feel that you are more erratic than normal, your mood swings are all over the place, you're more angry than normal, or all of these things, and you're not helping yourself, then I find that not fair on the people around you.
Remove yourself from the situation, do something
Yeah.
about it, come back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it is rubbish and it's frustrating and yeah, all of those things, but don't make other people suffer, you know, like we say, it'd be very funny when Chris has to deal with me, because I won't remember anything. God knows how late I'm going to be for things. But, do you know what, I think he's just going to have to lock me in a room.
Just don't turn up.
But it wouldn't be fair if I was then like really angry. And the same with the kids. Like, kids aren't going to understand. No. You know, like, let's say I'm 50 when I go through it, then no, they will be grown ups then. That's okay. Well, I don't think I was like 43 then. I think I'd had another 10 years to myself. I was like, I've only got like less than 10 years. I haven't. I'm at 17. They will be adults then. They're not going to be small children. It's okay.
They'll be alright.
But yeah, if you do have young children, that must be really hard for them to deal with. If all of a sudden mom's lost their temper for no idea why, you'd be like. So again, it's not fair on like other people around you. So you do have to take a little bit of accountability for it. And if you are trying everything and you're still having those feelings, then you know people can't get shirty with you because it's not your fault. But you know, at least try and make a difference to it, I guess. Anything that I'd say. But I don't think there's anything else to say really. Sorry.
No, I think that's... Why are you sorry?
I don't know.
Don't be sorry, you apologise too much. Well, that's everything for that one. That's everything for that one. We will see you on what day is today? Thursday.
Oh yeah, we're doing a live tomorrow.
No, Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Wednesday.
We'll see you on Thursday. We'll be live tomorrow, so yeah. We look forward
what time are we going live? 10?
I don't know. We'll discuss it and then we'll
post it.
10. Yeah. We'll discuss it and post it. So we'll see you tomorrow for our live. And
send us any questions. Feel free to send us weird questions in whilst we're on the live because that'd be really funny.
Do.
Although I can't really see, so I'll be really close to the camera. So say.
We'll sort something. We'll set up a laptop. Be alright.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Have a good
Happy
day.
Wednesday. Happy hump day.